Hi, my name's Jodie Pitt.
I'm Matt Wilson.
And I'm Luke Peel, and we are the founding members of Petaco, Physical Education Teachers Against Childhood Obesity.
We formed Petaco because of the childhood obesity epidemic that we face more and more in our chosen profession.
25% of Australian schools children are overweight or obese. By the year 2025, this alarming stat will have doubled.
Unfortunately, these frightening statistics can be readily found in any forms of media. We drew on 3 supporting artefacts in which these were found. CBS News, Childhood Obesity, a Serious Problem, where it says that a dramatic increase in diabetes and other diseases related to childhood obesity has added millions of dollars to healthcare costs. Diabetes diagnosis nearly doubled, accounting for 2.36% of children hospitalised in the late 1990s versus 1.43% in the late 1970s. And we are not yet fully aware of this epidemic because doctors often do not record obesity on hospital discharge records.
Tipping the scales, intervention and management. This article highlights that 1 in 4 Australian school children are overweight or obese, and it shows its rapid increase that by 2025, 1 in 2 children will be affected. It discusses how children's lifestyle choices are influenced by a wide range of factors, which are often out of the control of the child.
Childhood obesity epidemic requires multiple levels of intervention. This article addresses alternative and effective approaches to childhood obesity, how to improve the effectiveness of preventative interventions. A quote from this article: "It is important to step back and take a look at what we are doing right now to tackle childhood obesity. Multiple things are being done, but to date, not many of the interventions have actually shown progress in reducing childhood obesity."
Each article highlights how obesity affects the physical, emotional and social development of children and its close links to the onset of other chronic diseases.
This is supported by Dr. Nazrat Mazar of the Children's National Medical Centre. He quotes that, "The kids who are fat are really getting fatter."
You may be asking yourself, how can you combat this growing epidemic? At Petaco, we believe that schools have the responsibility to deliver a physical activity as a part of the curriculum.
Teachers also have the capacity to maximise participation, enjoyment and skill learning, considering the diversity, abilities and interests of all children.
With the childhood epidemic in mind, Petaco aims to assist physical education teachers to help battle this crisis.
We believe that it's not the curriculum that needs to change, it's the way we deliver it. For too long, physical education teachers have focused on teaching the elite.
They have failed to see how inability versus ability affects students within the PE environment.
The kids that are missing out are the ones that really need our help.
For this reason, Petaco has devised a program targeting primary school children. We're aware that the problem starts at a young age.
Because of this, we think that the best strategy to combat the epidemic is early prevention.
Our aim is to cater for a diverse range of abilities and have all children feeling safe within a physical education environment.
As previously stated at Petaco, we believe schools have a responsibility to deliver physical activity as part of the curriculum.
Teachers also have the capacity to maximise participation, enjoyment and skill learning.
Considering the diversity, abilities and interests of all children.
With all these key elements in mind, we have devised a new approach on how to deliver PES lessons effectively to cater for all children, no matter where their abilities lie.
Get up and go outdoors. Swim, hike, dribble, slam dunk, just move your body. This quote by Rob Page is the backbone of our resource. But how do we achieve this?
Well, the old way of teaching PE involved a traditional warm-up of 3 laps and static stretching. This immediately disengages children with no motivation for aerobic fitness.
According to the curriculum, this old method of warm-up will suffice. However, at Petaco, we believe that there are better methods to achieve this that engage all children, no matter their ability. An example of this is
Yep.
A simple example of this is Petaco's link tag.
Link tag is a great example of a warm-up game, where all members are confined to this grid. The game starts with one student being up, and their aim is to remove the bibs of the other students. Once their bibs are removed, they are also up. It's a great example of team building. This game ensures that all students are engaged for the entirety of the game, with it being non-elimination, so failure doesn't necessarily mean you sit out. It consists in a non-threatening environment, and this method of warm-up is far more fun and engaging than the traditional methods of the old school warm-up.
A simple game like throwing a frisbee is an effective PE tool. It's not about how strong you are, it's about your technique. So all students of different shapes and sizes can do this. It's getting them active, may not be running, but at least they're doing something.
Netball is normally a gender-specific sport with female bias.
Changing a netball to a football will bring in the male audience.
This modification of netball eliminates the access of a gender. By simply changing the ball and modifying the game of netball, it increases male involvement.
PE teachers fall into the trap of always teaching the elite in the sport. The key concept to get out of the game of netball are the skills required.
Did you watch The Simpsons last night? Poor Ralph Wiggum got left out because he wasn't the best baseball player.
But Luke, that happens so often these days in schools when it comes to picking sports. It's just part of the school life.
But how are we going to combat this?
By teachers have got to take the team picking into their own hands. They've got to choose the teams for the kids. This way it'll eliminate the inability versus ability axis, which we see so commonly these days throughout schools.
I suppose we've also got to have a safe classroom environment for the students too, don't they?
Yeah, well, definitely. You know, you've got to make sure that the field is, where the kids are playing, it has to be safe. It's got to be safe for kids.
There's some great points there, Matt.
Yeah.
As we stated earlier, the kids who are fat are really getting fatter. This is directly linked to what Matt and Luke were speaking about earlier with the inability versus ability axis. The children who are really needing our help are being let down through the system. Students that are able at one sport may not be particularly able at another. It's all about giving students choices, and that's a resource that we think is very valuable. While a child might enjoy participating in a team sport, why not give them the chance to challenge themselves in an individual sport while still getting active, like skipping?
In summing up, this childhood obesity epidemic is real and very frightening. As you have seen through these articles, the stats are alarming, and at Petaco, we hope that this resource will help combat this.
Throughout this presentation, we've showed you the old methods and brought to you some new approaches in teaching PE. The new approaches will hopefully help you combat the axis of inability versus ability.
At Petaco, our primary focus is to get kids motivated and active. We'd like to end on this quote.
Get up and go outdoors.
Swim, hike, dribble, slam dunk.
Just move your body.